Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome back to the Star Trek Highly Illogical podcast here on NerdTube. And today I am joined by fellow Trekkies in arms, Zam, over there, Zam, Major Rage, and our guest, Alexander from over at Axonar. And if you watch the simulcast over here, you see him on that podcast. How are you guys doing tonight?
Fine, thank you. I'm on a diet. I've been on a diet for over a week and a half, and I haven't had a candy bar or a chocolate bar for over a week and a half.
Very good.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Mage, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Proud to be here.
And Alex.
I'm doing fine. Happy to be here. A little bit on the tired side. I've been up since 6 a.m.
You'll be fine.
I'm sure I'll be fine. I'll be fine. But if you hear snoring, just shout.
Yeah, that's par for the course around here.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we are bringing back the Highly Illogical podcast because right now we don't have any Trek to review for the next couple weeks. So we do have some stuff to talk about tonight. The overarching topic is going to be about what would you replicate first in a replicator. This is kind of just a goofy topic. We don't have to stay on this topic. It's not like, we can only talk about, replicators. It's wherever the topic goes is where it goes. And, rabbit trails and everything. Yeah. So William Wells is in the chat. He says, hey, guys. So howdy, William. Welcome to the podcast. So who wants to start? Because, anyone got anything in particular they want to replicate first? Go ahead, Sam.
It has to be Wagyu. I've never had Wagyu, and did I just say what
Sounds like that's what Mage wanted to say. He now has to think. He spent all week
thinking. He can think the same thing. Look, I've been to a couple of butchers where they were selling Wagyu, and it was so bloody expensive. It was something without a doubt I couldn't afford to purchase. I just want to try it for the sake of trying it. Ideally, I would like it to be cooked for me, then replicated. But if I have to take replicated, so be it.
Good choice. Very good choice. The one thing I could think of, and you said it. Oh my lord, what are the chances?
Great minds.
Great minds. That's right.
It's a steak, medium rare, of course. Throw all those steak side trimmings on there too. But yeah, it's got to be a big piece as well. By the way, I'm not messing around. We're talking porterhouse size. Yeah,
mine would be a nice bowl of authentic Hungarian paprikash. My mom makes some great paprikash, but I think it's more of a family recipe. I think it's different than authentic paprikash. So I kind of want to try some authentic replicated authentic, paprikash. By the way, just really quick, LTD says hello.
TLD.
He said a replicator, just like in DS9. Oh man, that's cheating. That's like asking a genie for more wishes.
Well, one question: is it in today where we are driven by gathering wealth, or is it like in the far off future, like in Star Trek, where it doesn't matter?
Are you talking about the reference for this question?
What to replicate? Yes.
Oh, no, this today. Let's say that Apple Apple is beta testing, or no, Elon Musk. Let's make it good. Elon Musk is beta testing his replicator. He's calling it Replex.
Fair enough. Well, in that case, I'm going to go for the obvious, a bunch of gold.
No, okay. Well, you can replicate that, but you can't replicate dilithium or latinum. Gold pressed latinum. So
yeah, okay, fair enough. But gold right now has worth, or in that case, silver.
Okay.
Also, it's not about. I was just thinking of the food replicator. I had no idea it could be replicated.
I mean, you can replicate anything. I mean,
yeah, you can replicate
anything that's within its scope to replicate. But I know dilithium can't be replicated. That's why it's always a big to do to get.
They say wealth doesn't make you happy, but I haven't seen a miserable bugger riding a jet ski.
I agree.
Them guys are always smiling their asses off. So
Yeah.
well, to be fair, no, actually no. It would probably be a dish of some sort, but I can't think of it right now. So I'll let Mage rethink what he wanted to choose if he doesn't want to also go for Wagyu now.
Huh. That would just be so unoriginal. I'm trying to think of something else that's not something materialistic, but like, could it be a vehicle replicator?
I mean, yeah, let's go. Yeah, a vehicle replicator. Let's go all in.
Yeah, why not?
Then I would want a Bel Air. I would want like a 55 Chevy Bel Air.
All right, that's a good one.
Even I know what those things look like. Yes.
Beautiful
Good choice.
car. Beautiful car.
William Wallace. Oh God. William Wells says, my first replicator would be a really great big breakfast platter. Yummy. I do love a breakfast platter. Bacon, not sausage. I don't like sausage. Lord Donkey says that he's sending that clip to your mom. #betrayal, because I never said because I just want an authentic. I want an authentic Hungarian dish. I think the one that we use is more of just a family recipe passed down.
Yeah, not Mama's recipe, but something that you would authentically get from Hungary.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
I just want to compare. Wrong. That's it. I don't even know if it's any better. If Elon created it, only 3 people would be able to afford it. That's how everything starts. Though everything. I mean, look at cell phones. Cell phones were only for the super wealthy when they first started, and now we all have them. So. It's
CD players in cars, super wealthy, and now, well, we don't even have them anymore.
Yeah, we don't even need them.
Sticking with fancy foods, like I would love to try like a proper like Gordon Ramsay style beef Wellington, as well. That would be right down my alley. And I've never been to like one of these sort of fine dining restaurants, and they have like several courses but people always think, oh, look how small the food is, I'm never going to get filled on that. But they don't realize that you're getting so many courses during the time you're eating, that once you have all those little bits of food, it will fill you up over time. So I would like to replicate an entire fine dining menu of those little tiny courses, like 10 of them if it's a 10-course meal or whatever it may be, and yeah, just devour it for sure. That's in my spring.
Lord Donkey says, how about replicate a new Star Trek show that Rick B could enjoy? No, all it would do, it would air out, and all it would do is replicate Deep Space Nine on DVD, seasons 1 through 7. That's all it would keep doing.
I've got a feeling Rick B would still find something to complain about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Nothing Kurtzman Trek is good enough for him.
What we need Trek to somehow go back in time and somehow cross over it with AEW, because we know how much he loves AEW wrestling, and if that happens, I'm sure he'll lose his shit.
Oh, I know, right? Well, no, we could just take all these big AEW wrestlers and put them on the bridge of a ship, but like they all talk like wrestlers in promos during the whole thing. You're like, listen here, you Klingon bastards. These peace talks are going to be very well done. We won't take any more of your crap. Brother.
I remember that stuff from the 90s. I'm betraying my age here.
We all watched it in the 90s.
When it was still WWF. And I still remember, what does they say? The Nasty Brothers?
Nasty Boys.
Nasty Boys. We're going to shove it down your throat all through 93. All right, okay.
They were part of Hulk Hogan's contingent, especially Brian Knobbs.
Yeah.
From the Nasty Boys. He was.
You know what I do? I would go into work, and if we had a replicator at work, I'd replicate the little phaser drone thing that Gul Dukat replicated.
The little
DS9 episode when like the ship kind of reverted back to its base program or whatever. I'd be like, "Have fun, guys," and then I'd leave.
See ya, wouldn't we be ya?
Attention, Bajoran workers.
You know what? I'd do something sad, like replicate myself a costume of some sort.
That does bring up a good topic, though, that we were talking about last night on the Axonar podcast, Alex, about, I never thought about this until yesterday, but like, in Star Trek, do they do they even do laundry? Like, do they just put their uniform at the end of the day in the replicator and dematerialize it, and then the next day when they're getting ready to go to work, they rematerialize a new uniform? Like,
I would say that's probably what they do.
I've never seen a Sonic laundromat on an Enterprise.
Or at least they wear it until it's funky, maybe, because you do see them during the series. They'll get dirty, and then in the next scene they're clean. So there's either a laundry, or they replicate themselves another one, or they actually have a wardrobe full of them.
Their cleaning products at that period are just phenomenal.
Well, the ships clean themselves generally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is why they always look pristine clean.
TLD, we're just talking.
We got a couple more comments. Lord Donkey started by saying, "Sounds like fun sausage fest on the bridge to me." Yeah, they all got to wear like the wrestling speedos too. Yeah, they all got like little like the deltas on. And to see their rank, you got to like look down by their crotch. Oh yeah, like Trekkies are like, what rank is he? I don't know. I don't want to look.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
TLD says, I think
it's if we're talking food.
Yeah, if we're talking food, 90s fast food. Ugh. I mean, fast food was better back in the 90s, but fast food's never good like ever.
The McDonald's
like for you.
Bring
for
back
you.
the fat they fried those fries in. Replicate
I've just thought of what I'd replicate. The first thing I'd replicate is the McRib.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I know some people that would probably replicate the Shamrock Shake too.
Like a proper McRib as well, not something that's just been slopped together like in the last 5 seconds. Like
the proper. You know, when you went into a McDonald's in the 90s and you asked for a McRib, you got a proper McRib.
Yeah, nice, tidy, well made, well prepared McRib.
It almost always looked like the menu picture.
Yeah.
Could you? I mean, yeah. If we got replicators right now, man, could you imagine just how fat we would all be? It'd be terrible. It'd be so
already.
I actually think that if I was given a replicator and they said you can replicate anything, I'd have a bit of Burden's ass about me. You know, do we all know what that is?
A bird in the ass.
Buridan's ass. If you put a donkey in equally distant between food and water, it'll die of starvation or dehydration because it won't be able to choose which one it needs to go to first. Anyway, yeah, I'd be a little bit like that. I wouldn't know what I'd replicate. I'd wait until someone else goes past me and replicate something, and I'll go, oh yeah.
I bet you hate to order first at the restaurant, don't you?
Yes.
I'm the same way, bro.
Christine Black, welcome, Christine. It's been a hot minute since we've had you on one of our podcasts. That's not an easy question to answer. So you can't have a favorite shirt in Star Trek? No, you cannot have a favorite shirt. You could, but
I think that's going back to the laundry. Question. Yeah,
that's why I try to keep up with the.
Yeah, I suppose you could. You know, I mean, the sonic shower uses sonic waves to just lift the dirt and grime off you. There's nothing saying you couldn't wear your favorite shirt in the sonic shower and it gets clean. Then you take it off and then you let yourself get cleaned.
Yeah, but if it's sonic waves, though, wouldn't it eventually tear wear at the material?
Yeah, it's possible.
I mean, the material, and I'm talking eventually. Like, I'm sure the material is much better in the future. But like, if we're talking, now, like, our t-shirts are cheap enough as it is, man. I mean, these shirts are freaking cheap ass. At least like the whatever's on the front of the shirt would come off like pretty easily. After 2 washes, some of my shirts start to have like wear and tear on it. I'm like, God.
Yeah, I've got a really nice shirt that it's not a nice shirt, but it's a favorite t-shirt of mine. As you can see, I'm a little bit follically challenged. So it's Elmer Fudd. It's Elmer Fudd saying, "Have you seen my hair?"
That tracks.
Unfortunately, it's all mostly washed off now.
Yeah, I know. That's sad. That's sad when you get when you have those favorite shirts and you wash them too much. The suits are probably made by self-cleaning materials. Maybe. I mean, there's no proof of that in Star Trek, but probably you can.
Well, we do know that the material that the uniforms are designed to be comfortable in most environments, so it shouldn't be too hot, shouldn't be too warm. So possibly it's got some sort of self-cleaning, or maybe a repelling thing. But then again, we've seen them looking really dirty and tatty, so maybe it has a limit.
Maybe.
And we know that Picard had to get a new uniform after that ensign spilt what was it, coffee or hot chocolate all over him?
Thought it was
engineering.
Coffee.
Yeah, that ensign went on to be. She ended up being in lower decks, didn't she?
Yep, she was a captain in lower
decks.
Yes.
Yeah, she was a captain.
Yeah.
Lord Donkey says, "Remember what Dadmiral said in Disco season 4?" I don't remember. I mean, he said a lot of things. In Disco season.
Yes. He produced. He had an apple in his hand, and he asked I can't remember what her name is now. Do you know what this is? And she went, an apple. No, it's shit.
It's shit. Yeah.
It's reconstituted, and that's exactly how it works on a starship.
Yeah. Well, that's how it works in space now. Water's filtered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I mean, the poop is just dematerialized, and they take that energy and they turn it into something else.
In the TNG, what it does, it goes into a matter tank, and it gets broken down into its basic atoms, and then gets reconstituted into whatever you want it to be.
Lovely.
A blow up doll of Scarlett Johansson. Yes, indeedy.
Yeah, fair enough if you want to do that.
Ginger says I would replicate cakes. That tracks.
Valid. That's valid.
Right? That tracks. I don't blame you. Okay, I got it. William Wells sells pizza rolls for Vance. That's right. We know Vance loves his pizza rolls. McRib for the win. There he goes. Or no, wait. Who said the McRib? Was it you, Alexander?
Because the TLD said, talking of food, not 90s fast food, and the 90s was the last time we had the McRib here, apart from one special back in 2010 or something like that. Don't know why they stopped selling it here.
Christine, when you say the best ice cream, and I got to use my catchphrase here, was it the best ice cream you ever had in your entire life? Ever. I mean, that good. And you're 13, so that was like over 20 years ago.
The best ice cream I've had was a gelato place in Edinburgh about a month and a bit ago. Me and my friend went to go and see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Feels that way. I skipped down to there just so we can answer that one.
Yep.
A frozen custard place I go to in my area.
Oh, frozen custard.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know it's not ice cream, but I mean it's the same basic.
It's the same deal. It's a frozen delicacy.
But yeah, it was really they have really good. They have an orange creamsicle one, and they have a apple pie one that are just like, oh. God. I'm glad this place is like 25 minutes from my house. I only stop there when I drive by there, but I could eat. Yeah, I would replicate every single day one of those bad boys.
At the moment, prior to my diet, I was consuming a lot of chocolate mousse royales from Baskins and Robbins. They 20% discounts.
Yeah. Oh dear!
And they did 20% discount on Tuesday, so I'd buy myself a tub, which would last me the week.
All right, fair enough.
Christine says, Ginger, you are made of cake. Also fair. But he said yes, but unlike you, I can't eat myself. Yeah, I'm sure you could. Ginger will find a way.
My son is trying to eat his own feet right now, so
yeah.
Sure, you can eat yourself if you really, really try. Yeah. Although he hasn't got any teeth, so he's just gumming.
Hey. I mean, Krillin knows how to fold an android in half. I'm sure that Ginger can figure it out. I'm not that flexible, mate. William Wells says they can use teleporter to beam fat out. Ooh, that'd be nice. I would definitely use that, but I don't know. I feel like there's more to it than that, than just teleport. It's like that's why when people go, "Oh, in Star Trek, what do they do? Just transport the poop out?" I'm like, I feel like there's more to it than that.
Yeah. Can you imagine? You step on a transporter, beam me down, Mr. O'Brien. A couple of stone lighter, thank you very much.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if that period, they must have a weight loss pill, which I'm happy to replicate several of them.
I just think their food is probably processed differently. It's probably processed so it doesn't stick like ours it does today. You know, like all our processing for our food is what.
I mean, yeah, they've got synthahol, so you know it tastes like alcohol apparently, but hasn't got the detrimental effects. So if they can do that,
detrimental.
Replicator.
We already answered that question. I mean, you can technically.
I mean, you could replicate the.
You can replicate the parts, or you could replicate a smaller replicator, but then eventually you you know. So that's why you got industrial-sized replicators.
A set of nesting replicators.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
So you got one of those industrial ones that Voyager apparently had, pumping out shuttlecraft.
Yeah, right. Garrick was a tailor, and Miles O'Brien complained about ripping his uniform in an episode.
Yeah, indeed. When they, that's one of my friend's favorite moments in all of DS9 when they're swimming ashore from having crashed in the Jem'Hadar bug ship, and he's like, "Damn, I tore my pants. These are my favorite pants." They've just survived a crash at Mac Jesus.
Mock Jesus.
Ginger and
go ahead.
Well, I was there. Like, I would probably replicate some beverages as well. Yeah, there's a lot of drinks that I would like to go back to, which I can no longer get in this country. So,
we all know people would be replicating Crystal Pepsi. I mean, come on.
Oh damn, yeah.
Crystal Pepsi sounds like fucking meth heads drink.
Oh no, it is literally Sprite, or not Sprite. 7. Wait, no, was it Crystal Pepsi was the answer to Crystal Pepsi was the answer to 7-Up when Pepsi and 7-Up split, I think, right? Oh no, he's got some. Does he got it? Is that Crystal Pepsi?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Well, it's now just water, but it was Crystal Pepsi. Thanks to thanks to LA Beast for that.
It's like Tab Clear. It's Pepsi Clear.
Yeah,
it's clear cola. It's clear cola.
There we are. It's basically it's Pepsi without the coloring.
Yeah, because I remember
they use food coloring to make it dark.
Do you remember in the UK we had Tab Clear?
I remember Tab Clear.
That didn't last too long though, did it? So,
but no, LA Beast. I don't know if you know the YouTuber LA Beast. Competitive eater and eater of strange things like cactus.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of his things.
And curdled milk by the gallon and on all sorts of stuff like that. Anyway, he had a real thing for Crystal Pepsi, and he started a campaign because he knew that people at Pepsi, they still had the recipe and everything like that.
Well, I mean, if it's just Pepsi without all you got to do is make Pepsi and then not put the food coloring in it.
So eventually they gave in. They gave in and actually started a limited run. I think it was 2014, because I remember I went over to America to visit a friend and go to Dragon Con in Atlanta.
And you made it out alive in America?
Yeah. You just avoid the hicks with guns. You know, it's all good. And I brought me back 6 bottles of Crystal Pepsi. And this is the last one I had. It made me ill after drinking it because it was like a year and a half out of date, even though it'd been in the back of the fridge all that time.
Yeah, but it's still like those chemicals and
didn't go down too well. Yeah. The amount of ingredients in the back of this thing is shocking. American food products are horrendously over engineered.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. How else are they gonna keep pumping us into their healthcare industry? You know,
there is that conspiracy. Yes, that the Health Inc., as I call it, not healthcare, Health Inc. and the food conglomerates are all in on it. Your food makes them unhealthy, and we get rich.
Yep. They just keep passing. You know. And it's a vicious cycle. Lord Donkey says they still need toilets for bouts of explosive diarrhea.
Sorry, there's a joke because like Christine says I could be a great grandma. I could be a great a great grandmother if I was in Liverpool, and I get what she's saying.
Yep. Britain's youngest grandmother was something like what, 28, 29.
Like
wait, Liverpool's.
She had her daughter at 15, and her daughter's her first at 14. This is a couple of years ago now.
And Christine being in her late 30s, she could easily be a great grandmother.
Well, I feel like in America nowadays we can have that too.
Easily.
I mean, if it's only, I thought you were talking single-digit pregnancies.
No.
Luckily, that we haven't had any of that.
That's what I was worried about. Okay. Christine says that I would replicate weed.
Of course. Oh my god. I mean, I don't smoke anymore,
if that's your thing, fair enough. Can you imagine?
She says, if I had a replicator, I would wake and bake every fucking day. We need a TV. We need a T-shirt that has it's got a replicator on it, and it's just got like a roach in it, like just being replicated, and like just says wake and bake every fucking day.
What was that episode of Orville? Was it what's the name of that character, Boris or Borat?
Bortus.
Yeah, we're smoking the cigarettes.
Oh god, that was hilarious.
And then they start quoting cigarette advert catchphrases. I feel like I've been standing all my life and I've just sat down. I don't know who did that. It might have been Marlboro or something.
Oh, that was just one of my and I think the cigarette thing was actually the B plot of that episode.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just so funny, the whole thing.
Someone actually sat and counted every single cigarette that appeared on their synthesizer or replicator, whatever they want to call it, and it's not 500. It's something like 492 or something like that.
No,
they didn't even get that right. But it's a fucking show.
Well, we could go at the nitpicking assholes.
I mean, I like to nitpick like any Trekkie, but
yeah, but you don't. Okay, you can nitpick, but like when you complain like incessantly about stupid stuff, like I can nitpick on Spider-Man all the live long day, but I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, the whole thing sucks because of this little thing, like Lord Donkey says, in theory, one could replicate a Golden Glasses Award. No, you cannot. That is on the list of things you cannot replicate. You have to earn that Golden Glasses Award. Alexander, for context, we have our own award show every year. It's not just Star Trek. It's like all-encompassing stuff. And we hand out award. Well, we don't hand out awards, but like we give out awards like best show, worst show, best movie, worst movie, best Zam moment, best like most cringe moment. We'd have like some funny ones that we do.
Fair enough.
Like did I sub to the right channel award? Like where we just do some off the wall topics and like so stuff like that. So but yeah, that we do it once a year, right after Christmas. At the end of the year, and it's a really fun time. You are actually in the presence of 2 Golden Glasses award-winning hosts 2 years in a row. Our first ever was this guy right down here, Major Rage.
Ooh.
It's a very illustrious award. I know who I'm nominating this year already.
Does it come with perks?
Yeah.
I'll
give you
Cheeto
a handy,
Cheeto never lets you live it down. That's the perk.
Yeah, the perk is I never let you live it down.
You get a crummy printout of a print screen.
That bottle of Coke is put in cost more than the soda put in it.
Well, he said there was water in it now, so
yeah, there's water in it now, but it did contain genuine Crystal Pepsi.
Oh, but Coke Coke used to have cocaine in it, which is why it was called Coca-Cola.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, indeed.
Yep.
Hey, a lot of things had cocaine in it back in the day.
Yeah, but it's like any good thing that human beings do. They abuse it, and then we can't have nice things.
Indeed. Yeah,
like I mean, I'm sure that the cocaine was in moderation in Coke, but then now all of a sudden cocaine becomes illegal because everybody, Tony Khan's out there,
Yep. Britain's motorways were originally limitless on speed until lots of people started killing themselves. So now we have speed limits.
How about replicate body parts to stay alive? I I mean, we can kind of do that nowadays. Like, we're not replicating, but we're growing and
we're cloning.
Cloning body part, like at least like not body parts, but like organs. You know,
the replicators cannot replicate living tissue.
I guess you're right. I guess
that's a canon thing.
Then how do they distinguish between like a chicken patty and like a chicken?
That's not living tissue at that point. It's protein.
Okay, yeah, but
so
it's protein before too.
It's protein built into the shape of a chicken patty, but it's not. It wouldn't be a living, breathing chicken. It wouldn't have a heart. It wouldn't have a circulate. Yeah. It would have a heart, but the heart wouldn't beat because you can't replicate something to do with the electrical field and stuff like that.
No, I think that was just a stipulation the Catholic Church had before they allowed replicators. You can't replicate a soul. Thomas Riker would like to have a word.
No, but you can't couldn't you replicate an uncooked liver? You know, and surely that means you are replicating.
But I wonder if medical replication is different than like replicating, like because it seems like in Star Trek they have to grow that stuff rather than
You see them grow all the stuff all the active ingredients that they need. That's why Dr. Crusher, for example, has always got a grow on in the corner there.
Fair enough.
Who has an incoming email?
There's Daniel Vance. Easy, new body. Screw this organic one. Hey, I mean, like if you want to,
he's talking about a droid body. Yeah, you could replicate yourself a droid body. I don't see anything wrong with that.
I would wear that T-shirt, and that would be my favorite. All right. Well, it looks like we've got a job ahead of us. Now we've got to make a wake and bake replicator T-shirt.
I just happen to have a line drawing of a replicator for my MSDs that I do. I could maybe.
Back in the good old days. Special brown. You could make special brownies, but it would probably be like kind of like synthahol. It'd be like syntha weed.
And if you're going to do those sort of special brownies, make it Black Forest brownies as well, because like the cherry just makes those brownies even more special.
Cherries make everything special.
Christine says, "I'm ready to be assimilated."
Yeah.
No, trust me, you don't want that.
Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late to the stream. No problem, Mark. Thank you so much for being here. We were talking about what we would replicate if we had a replicator in today's age. Like if Elon Musk invented the Replex or Replicator X, he puts an X on the end of everything, so it'd be like Replex, I guess. So if they shipped all of us a replicator, what would we replicate first? Within the boundaries of replicators in Star Trek.
I just imagine because you mentioned it's him though, like I can just imagine wherever we replicate will come out fucked up.
You're right. Everything would come out with like an X logo on it, you know, like be like you have to post it on X, otherwise it'll like disappear. Like
and the build quality will be shit.
Yeah. Why can't you jury-rig transporter and a replicator make a bunch of clones? I mean,
well, that's living tissue again, isn't it?
You can replicate the person, but you could the transporter incident. But like if you have so here's a crazy question: is a transporter basically a long-range replicator? Because if you think about it, it's breaking your entire body down to matter, bringing it up in a data stream, and then reconstituting it. I mean, what do we think when we make that hamburger?
It's essentially that, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can't argue against that.
I mean, it's a murder machine. We know that.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know that every time you beam with physics as we know it, you die as soon as you get disassembled.
But then the person who rematerializes would never know it because
they would think that you are you, but you're gone and they continue until they get beamed up,
and then they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many times Picard and Riker have been killed?
Many.
Riker more than Picard. That's why Picard sends Riker. Oh man, I got a tickle in my throat. Okay. LTD says now we're talking. Or I'm sorry, Christine says to LTD now we're talking. Hi Alexander, Cheeto, Zam, and May, Joe Rage in chat.
Howdy doody.
This is how my army of Borg starts taking shape. Well, I mean, you know we all got to go some way.
And Chris would goth the fuck out of those Borgs, even though they're quite gothic looking in the first place. But with Christine at the helm, my God. And I can imagine Chris being the Borg queen as well, without a doubt.
Yeah. Actually, we did talk about the laundromat theory just a little bit ago. So, yeah, we did discuss the laundromat about the uniforms and everything, and if they actually launder their stuff or they just, you know, dematerialize it and then the next day rematerialize it. You know, I think we started talking about yesterday about how like how energy efficient that is. You know what I mean? Like, is it energy efficient to dematerialize your clothes every day and then rematerialize? Like when you're in the Federation, like you could do that because you're kind of not wanting for much. It just depends on how the energy is recycled.
Yeah, you know, on a day-to-day basis, when there's nothing wrong, like you're not stranded in the Delta Quadrant.
Yeah, and we use Voyager as the example.
Yeah, energy is effectively limitless. So it doesn't matter if you're using the replicator to just dematerialize and rematerialize.
They don't use electricity as well. I remember Picard mentioning that, you know, like the power source is not electricity, it's something else, which was
plasma-based.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Christine says I would make an awesome Borg queen, and I agree, Zam. Christine, you would be the hottest Borg queen ever. You are a babe as a Borg queen. There we go.
Do you want a straw?
A straw,
so you can suck up to her ass more.
Oh yeah, baby. Christine knows I love her. I'm just glad she's back. It's been a while since she's been on. I'm glad she's back.
Yeah, I've missed you,
William Wilson's replicate animals. No, we already talked about the living tissue one. So
yeah, you could replicate dead animals. From the rules that have been established in Star Trek, you cannot replicate living tissue. Now, if you replicate a chicken patty, it's dead tissue. You wouldn't be able to. If you replicated a liver, it's dead tissue.
Just a series of amino acids.
Oh, go ahead, Mage. What?
Exactly.
Just a series of amino acids, I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. But
and I mean, that's why I think they have technology that repairs appendage, organs rather than just replicates new ones.
Yeah, and they've got drugs that will grow you new kidneys, for example. You know, from Star Trek 4, doctor gave me a pill and I grew a new kidney.
Oh yes, I remember.
If you replicate a chicken and then reanimate it, though.
No, because even when something as a person is dead or an animal dies, they can't reanimate it.
Yeah, the only reason why you can reanimate somebody is because their body has not been dead long enough for it to be completely it's like if you have a power source and you unplug your computer, it'll still go, but it has a limited amount of life. Now with with obviously a battery on a laptop, you've got a lot more juice that you can work with. With the human body, once that blood stops pumping, everything starts shutting down.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually the damage is irreversible.
Oh God, Christine's awesome, man. That next comment.
Oh my goodness.
We need to normalize necromancy inside. Hey, I mean, we listen. What? Oh,
hey, that's why TLD wants to get his clones. As long as they're warm enough.
We had a gentleman here that was a part of our NerdTube contributors who came back from the dead twice. Love that man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
that I find those the people who have had those experiences fascinating. The things that they say.
It was a fascinating dude.
Oh yeah.
Nobody like
him. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think about replicating weapons?
I would, I would hard code something in that would stop you replicating parts or whole weapons, because then that's why we can't have nice stuff. I mean, Christine's already ruining it for us by she's wanting to replicate the Borg. You know, that would put pay to the Replicator straight away.
Yep. No, that's pretty much where I'm at too. I just was curious about your guys' thoughts on weapons. You know, like, you know, because technically the holodeck is also is just one big replicator. Like it's holographic for like the scenery, but like when they eat food on in the holodeck, they are, you know, when they use weapons on the holodeck, even though they are safety protocols, they are still replicating weapons that you can touch.
Absolutely.
You know. So that's kind of where I was coming from with that.
That leads me to a debate. So the holodeck, nothing that you replicate in the holodeck can exist outside the holodeck. So why is it when Wesley falls into the water, gets picked up, and he's traipsing along the corridor after exiting the holodeck, why is he still wet? Now, I think it's because it replicated actual water. You know, it's a replicator and a holodeck. You know, it replicates actual water for you to go into. And I think
that's the thing about replicators is that everybody just thinks it's this holographic illusion. I don't think it's that. I think it is a combination, and they've said this. It's a combination of replicator and holographic technology. Whereas, you know, it replicates lots of stuff. Like, how else do you walk around this big landscape that's much bigger than the actual thing without some kind of like replication? And, you know,
indeed, and in some holodeck situations, we see them eating things and drinking. So that has to be real.
So yeah, so I mean, you know, they don't just walk out and like, oh, I'm hungry again, because it all just disappeared in their stomach. You know, like that's not how that works. So yeah, I know. I think the holodecks are far more complicated and use a lot more replicator technology than we give it credit for a lot of times in Star Trek.
And medically, if you're eating, and for instance, it's never good to chew gum on an empty stomach, because you're fooling your body into thinking you're digesting food when you're not. So if you are digesting holographic food, which then empties in your stomach when you leave the holodeck, then you're causing yourself problems, which would be not a good idea either.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. So I would say that food and water, that things that you interact with, are replicated to a point, apart from maybe props and stuff like that, which are actual just holograms.
Dana Vance says, one thing I definitely would not ask a replicator for is pot roast. Janeway tried and failed multiple times. No, that's because the computer knew that Janeway was a war criminal. And it said, fine, you want to kill Tuvix? Fine, here's your pot roast.
I think, she was trying to fiddle with the recipe. That's what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And she, presumably, because all LCARS runs on algorithms and stuff like that. Presumably, if you put in the wrong algorithm, you get what she got out.
Yeah, because I mean, you could probably customize whatever you're making, like as a base component, like pot roast or a pie or whatever. But when you start fiddling with the recipe, that because you can say Earl Grey tea hot, and that's pretty simple to make. But it's like Earl Grey tea, splash of lemon, blah blah. You start adding things to it or whatever. That's when it kind of gets hairy. Christine says, "Hold on, I would make a good Guy Borg." Okay, I mean, if that's what we
have them now. If you saw the season
Jurassic
2
Borg.
of Picard,
that's what you get. That's what you get with a woke Borg queen.
Lovely.
Sure, I mean, that's fine. Like one episode, Wesley threw a snowball.
Yes, indeed. The snowball hits Picard, and he's standing outside of the, just outside of the holodeck, but it still hits him in the chest.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like that. There's got to be a lot of replicator technology that goes into it. So
no, but we have seen I can't remember what it was, but I saw a holographic character leave the holodeck, and then as they left the holodeck, they started to disappear.
Because you can't replicate a living being, so that was definitely a holographic projection.
Yeah. So my point is that even though Picard was outside the holodeck, that snowball still briefly could be a snowball, even though it was outside the holodeck until.
Yep. There's that.
Well, I mean, you've seen Miles and Bashir come back to Quark's bar, and they're all like tattered and beat up from whatever war thing they've just been doing.
Yeah, when every time they came back from their Battle of Britain, their faces were full of dirt and oil from being in the Spitfires.
Yeah, and it's in all actuality, unless they walk, like if we go by hologram, like how people normally perceive the holodeck, as soon as they walk out, they should be right as rain. You know what I mean? But they're not. That's. I know
we're going on to holodecks now a little bit, but as the holodecks improve, like in the TNG days, you would have to actually get changed before going on the holodeck. But by the time we got to Star Trek First Contact, you didn't have to get changed.
Mm-hmm.
It would change the clothes for you.
Yep. And when you beam down, it would. Yeah, you would 90th century. Although I don't know why I would say that in a turbo lift, but
Yeah.
But I mean, still same diff.
I think
indeed. You go ahead.
I think what they would need to use the replication aspect of in the holodecks kind of combined multimedia experience would be like the tactile things, like the dirt and the grime from the Spitfires, or the cold of the snow, the wood of the water that you can't achieve with light and mirrors.
Precisely, but something like a book can be just, that can actually be a holographic item, because it's a solid object at that point, and which is why when Picard throws it out, it dematerializes.
Or maybe they just kind of make it up as they go along,
or maybe they make it up as they go along. The holodeck technology works or doesn't work according to what the writers need at a specific time.
They're either sentient or not sentient, depending on
Yeah, and that, by the way, segues into work, because I have to quickly go to work now. So I'll catch you guys later.
All right, Zamo, have a good night. See you later, bud.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Christine said, let me get Zam out of here. Oh, okay. Christine says, I hope to get something like a holodeck for gaming during my lifetime. Let's talk about that. That's actually a very good, because we are, I know we have VR right now, and I don't like VR. I don't like having a screen that close to my face. But what do you think? We are on a fast track to having some kind of holodeck style. Like, people will probably in our lifetime will be converting rooms into like some type of, I don't want to say holodeck, because obviously we're not getting that technology in our lifetime, but like some kind of virtual reality where it's like you don't have to really wear, like, you maybe have to wear like glasses or something, but you don't have to wear like this whole visor headset, and you have a whole room where you're like, you can walk around in and stuff. You know what I mean?
We already have those pods that you wear those special shoes on, and it's like a concave dish, and it allows you to you strap it in, and it allows you to walk or run on the spot, and you can turn, you can twist, turn, and then you've got gloves on which the computer then can see where your hands are in relation to the game. So if you're holding a weapon, you're like that and stuff like that. So we're getting close. I think. But I don't think we'll ever see it exactly like we see it in the holodeck, where you can just walk in.
Not in our lifetime, but we're definitely going to, in our lifetime, we will see something that's like very similar to like, a room. Like in Ready Player One, remember how they have that that whole chassis setup where except they have it more on their face.
Yeah,
I think we're going to grow beyond that in our lifetime. Yeah,
that's definitely more like what it's going to be, because we're getting close already. Got augmented reality already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I see people using that for when they're 3D modeling stuff in industry, which I think is fascinating, so that they can do a virtual walk around, like aircraft designers. That's what they're doing when they're designing a aircraft. They set this augmented reality thing up, and they can actually walk through the cabin and see what works, what doesn't. That pipe is intersecting that bulkhead.
Well, and they did it They did that way back with Iron Man. Like when Iron Man was designing his suits, he's sitting there just throwing stuff out, doing that.
But there you can now do that for real.
Yeah, for real. As I said, yeah, that was movie magic. Now they're doing it for real.
Indeed.
Minority Report. I mean, they were doing tons of that with the, with the hands. Hold on, let me get to a couple comments here.
Yeah.
Christine says, I did have an idea for a good VR system a few years ago. You should have patented it, because now we could all be rich, because we know we would take care of your friends if you got rich. No way in hell people will be physically fit to actually do holodeck stuff.
Yeah,
I'd be out of breath in the first 5 minutes. I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
I certainly couldn't run around in Halo like you do in the actual game.
I could be running around in Assassin's Creed like I look like Samuel L. Jackson and Captain Marvel, like a 70-year-old running around in like a 40-year-old body.
Yeah, no, that just wouldn't work.
But it would be involved. Definitely would have glasses as they display the bodysuit that the computer can read, strapped to something like a treadmill that goes in all directions. I mean, and of course equipped with props. The idea of what I say is that it's also a workout, not just gaming. Yeah, no, we probably. I mean, if our games forced us to physically do things like our characters in our games did, like after playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I literally probably would have like ran across the world in like 3 times. The game's so freaking big.
Yeah, I mean, Wii Sports did a really good thing. That was really popular because people were playing a game, but you're also having to physically interact with it.
Yeah,
I mean, we would definitely. And we would use the sprint button less. You know how we're always making the characters sprint in games so they can get places faster? We'd be like, if we had to do the sprinting, we'd be like, yeah, I think I'm just going to walk this one.
Yeah, this mission can take a while. It'll be okay.
Yeah. One thing for sure, in those multiplayer stuff, you'd have less people bouncing around.
Yeah, right. Like they'd more roll. You'd see them rolling across the floor.
Yeah, like Halo Online. You could never. You had all those people just bouncing around, trying to make themselves hard targets. No, just play the game better. But you'd have less of that if they actually had to physically do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You probably couldn't play Skyrim for hours at a time. Probably not. Whole wall TV projector. I mean, but I'm talking like 4 walls and like ceiling, maybe even floor, possibly. Like that's what I'm talking about with that.
Yeah.
And then she says we'd all be ripped. I mean, I'm ripped. My jeans. I'm in shape. Round is a shape.
Yeah, I'm a shape too.
All right. I don't know anything else you guys can think of that would be great to, or anyone in the chat want to bring up any replicated things? Yeah, we're talking about holodeck. Bring up what game would you want to play first on a holodeck? If physicality was not an obstacle, let's be clear.
Flight sim.
What is it?
Flight simulator.
Oh, flight simulator. Oh yeah, I'd play Wing Commander.
I mean, I've actually sat in a physical flight sim, 737 flight sim with all the knobs and buttons that actually work. It's actually fantastic. Like, imagine being able to just go into that anytime you want. That'd be cool. I mean, fighter jets and stuff like that as well. Or I'd love to sit in a Spitfire and shoot down some Jerrys over the English Channel.
I'd play a Lego game. I want to be a Lego character.
Everything would be awesome.
Yep. My shape is potato. Yeah, aren't we all?
You know what? My shape is also potato.
Mm-hmm. Listen, we all got some potato going on in here. Tater. We all got some tater going on.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I got to watch Lord of the Rings: Rings of Power after we get off of here tonight.
Someone had to go there. Yep.
Sex dolls. Yep. William Wells had to go there with the sex dolls.
Yeah, because they're silicone and metal armature, I think.
Well, I mean, technically, we saw it with Tuvok. He got his Ponfar on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those holograms are apparently very accurate.
Yeah. Dan wants to play Twister if he plays a game on a holodeck.
Fair enough.
I would play Twister with Scarlett Johansson is what I would do.
Ooh,
or
yes.
I would play Twister with the Kira Nerys with Quark's head character.
Yeah.
Contra is what LTD would play. Why sex dolls when androids exist? That's true, man.
Why androids when holograms exist?
And why real people when anything else exists? Like why real men? Like who needs our nonsense, right? Come on, guys. I mean,
you just replicate a pod with a strategically placed. I'm not going to go any further.
Gosh, this is like a kid's show. No, it's not. It's not.
No, it's not.
No.
If it was, it isn't anymore.
So
can't take Cheeto anywhere.
Yeah,
no.
Right. I honestly feel like I would play Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth in a holodeck.
Yeah, fair enough.
I would play the out of that game on a holodeck.
Star Wars game would be fun. I'd like the lightsaber fight.
You know what? I play a zombie game called 7 Days to Die.
I've heard of it, never played it.
With a friend of mine. We play co-op most Mondays. And every 7 days, once 10 p.m. hits, the zombies come for you. And they know where you are. You can't hide. So you have to have yourself a nice defendable location. So some people take a POI from the game and beef it up, and some people like my friend and I, we build our own bespoke base to take the punishment. But imagining that actually in 3D where they're actually coming at me, that would be terrifying and awesome at the same time.
Well, like more of a Resident Evil, but with like hordes of zombies rather than just like a couple. You know. Yeah.
From 10 p.m. until 4 a.m. they're coming for you. And you need
what I'm very curious. I know we're rabbit trailing here, but I'm very curious. What is the context as to why they cannot come until those between those times, or they can't come until those times?
They are around. There's zombies kicking around everywhere. And if you go to a POI, you'll get sleeper zombies, which are they'll activate once you make a noise. I'll come for you then. But Horde Night, as it's called. It happens every 7 days. The red moon rises, and they all go berserk and come for you.
So the moon, like something with the moon, is what makes them all go berserk and come for you.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Indeed, and if they can't get to you, they go into destroy mode and start destroying stuff.
Cyanogen zombies.
I have given names to all the zombies in 7 Days to Die.
Yeah. Me and my friend have given names to them as well. You've got this zombie that's in a suit. We call him Derek from accounts. Nobody likes you, Derek, and we always shoot him dead. Because there's always a Derek in accounts, and nobody likes Derek in accounts. And then we've got a Sheldon, because he looks a little bit like a Sheldon, because he's wearing a top with shorts, two lengths of sleeves, which is exactly what Sheldon wears. And Big Mama, big fat woman. And then you got Magic Mike, the biker. Yeah, it's good fun giving these zombies names and then blasting them.
I thought you'd get more attached if you gave them names. But...
Then you've got a screamer zombie that if you make too much noise or too much heat for a certain while, the game spawns the screamer that goes to investigate, and if she sees you, she screams and brings in a small horde, and she looks a lot like Samara from The Ring, so obviously we call her Samara.
Oh. Christine says, I have a blood moon every 30 days because I play alone. That's very sad.
All right, yeah, you can set it in custom. It's every 7 days or whatever you want.
So now it's 30 days to die for her. So
yeah,
I can't decide what I replicate first.
Yeah,
a snow globe. Replicate a snow globe. No, that's Jack. I don't know which one she's talking. Maybe that's the Sheldon. Maybe I don't know which one she's
Possibly, yeah.
Then the one with
the one in dungarees is Jeffrey. Yep. Okay. Yep. Fair enough. Oh,
the fat
Jack
woman
is. I think Jack would be the guy in the suit. That's the one. That's the first one.
Fat Bertha, and the biker is Gary.
Yep. Fair enough. They actually do have official names, but she calls her shut the fuck up. Yeah, fair enough. They've just brought. They actually 7 Days to Die just actually came out as version 1. It's been alpha for ages, and now they've released it as version 1. And the screamer, they've tweaked the screamer. That used to be that the screamer would only scream if she saw / heard you. But now, at least it is for my game with my friend, as soon as she gets within 20 meters, she screams. And she usually screams in another screamer, who then screams as soon as she gets close.
That's normally what happens when I approach a woman. She just becomes she becomes a screamer when I come in 20 meters. You know, like
you just give women the ick.
Yeah, I just come within 20 meters and they're just like, ah, get away. All right. So with that, that what an annoying little shit. And the fat dude is Larry.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, I mean, unless you have anything else to add, I say we wrap it up. We hit an hour. Now we're talking about 7 Days to Die, which is fantastic. Don't mind talking about other things, but I think we've kind of run the topic into the ground. So, so with all that being said, Mage, Alex, thank you so much for being here. Zam, also thank you from the great beyond of YouTube in the real world.
It's called real life. There you go, yeah.
No. It's not life. It's not.
It's a simulation.
Yeah, right? That's what life is. Real life is a simulation. Gaming is real. She would replicate dog poo for pranks. I mean, I guess that counts. It's enzymes, right? Enzymes and protein, technically.
I mean, I don't think there's anything stopping you.
Yeah.
But if we're in the Matrix, it would still taste like chicken.
That's right. Everything tastes like chicken. Tasty Wheats taste like chicken. Anyway, before we get on that rabbit trail, everybody, thank you very much for joining me. I'm so glad to have the Highly Illogical podcast back. I love talking about Trek and all these weirdo topics. If you have any topics, leave them in the comments below. I love taking suggestions. We are going to be having another topic next week. It might be the one where we bring in Neil Babel. I think it's Babel from the Avalon universe. He worked on principal photography, and we are going to talk about. And Alex, you are more than welcome to join us for that one too. We're going to talk about like the photography aspect and the framing of starships and like the interiors and the bridges and all that, and just kind of talk about angles and everything. And just we kind of got on this topic on another podcast we were on, and I'm like, that's what I do. I get in these like topics on podcasts that we don't really dig into, and then I'm like, let's just talk about this on mine.
Why not? Why absolutely? Why not? I happen to have next Friday off as well, so I might pop along.
All right, awesome sauce. I just have to confirm with him. If not, we'll have another goofy, dumbass topic probably. Who knows? But thank you, Mage, Alex. Thank you very much for being here. Everybody out there in YouTube land, thank you so much for joining us here today. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Catch you later.
See ya.